All right, bro. Let me hit you with a taste of the Akiya Mart quiz that I'm thinking for the JREP. Okay.
Okay.
What's the rainiest prefecture
Okay.
by homeowner sentiment? So this
Bye.
is here's the words I searched for. So
Okay.
in descriptions, I searched for rain,
Yeah.
storm, thunder, lightning, flood, typhoon, hail. And there's one prefecture that is way above the other ones and this is a percentage of listings. So I normalize it. So which prefecture has the highest percentage of listings with those words included in the description? There's only
Is it
one.
none other than Oitaken, our home?
It's
Our home? Okay. All right. I'm just going to start with the dramatic piano, switch it up. All right. Here we go. And we're back, Joey. I'm glad we switched over from that dramatic piano to Who Shot Ya soundtrack. It's been a wild ride.
Are you keeping that on this episode, or are you going to
Yeah,
switch that
yeah.
to?
I think let's keep it on. I think we got to change our intro soon. We're almost at season 2, right?
Sure, I like our intro, but
Okay. All right. We'll
it adds
discuss, but
consistency. It's like when you're watching your favorite TV show and you hear the intro music again, the Office
yeah.
intro music.
Okay, that's true. I feel like our intro's too long. I feel like I listened to our podcast. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear these fools do the same thing over and over. But again, we've
Oh, the
listened to it
talking
probably.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we take the talking part out, huh?
yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
All right. Either way, welcome back, all Dear Diary series. I feel like these kind of Dear Diary series actually get the most traction from people. I think most people mention them over our interviews, and I think we'll still plan on doing both. But what's happening, Joe?
We got a few things to talk about. No huge updates in terms of our own Akiya progress. There's a few things there, but no big leaps and bounds ahead. Main thing coming up though is JREP conference in Tokyo next
Whoop,
month.
whoop. There we go. We were invited by Ziv to speak at the JREP conference. I think Joey is going to be doing a quick data icebreaker. I'm unfortunately going to be surfing in Indonesia. This is apologies. I'm 0 for 2 on the JREP conference. Bummed.
I think Ziv's going to give us the after lunch slot to like wake the crowd back up. So we're thinking of maybe like more of a fun kind of talk. Ziv's is going to be technical, Emil's is going to be technical, Tracy's, etc. So we're going to come out and give a little introduction to Akiya Mart, quick 5 minutes, just show the website, show what some of the properties you can see on there, how to use it, and then we're going to go into some of the cool data points that we can see with this listings database that we've been building over time. Some interesting questions. We can search through descriptions that real estate agents have written and look for specific keywords and then see, which prefectures are people talking about rain the most in the description or whatever. And there's some interesting ones, things you wouldn't expect there. So yeah, like a little icebreaker. And then if someone guesses a question correct, we're going to have some t-shirts ready.
Hey. Yep. JREP conference is going to be April 6th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Tokyo. As Joey mentioned, some giants in the space. Tracy, who does everything Airbnb. Emil, who's I think the loan god, mortgage god. I feel like he's given us good info, and he's a Tokyo-based real estate agent. Ziv, who's our intermediary man, the glue is what we call him. Anton, we also talked to Anton. I'm a fan of Anton. He's doing some cool. I think his design's sick. I've been following him on Instagram. And
Yeah.
lastly,
Whichever house
Blanca.
had it. Yeah. I was just gonna say whichever house Anton had in that Vogue magazine shoot, really well done.
Yeah, clean design. And then Blanca, we haven't talked to Blanca, but I would be interested. I think she does everything renovation or construction. So if you're interested in the space, we'll drop a link in the show notes on where you can buy early bird tickets. They might not be early bird anymore, but we've come a long way, Joey. I think we had bought our house and you joined like a month. When did you go to the last one?
Last JREP was, I think, first week of November last year, 2023. So yeah, we were both in Japan at the time. You had gone back to California, and I went to Tokyo around the same time. Yeah, I went to the JREP conference. A lot of fun. All the speakers were great. Learned a lot. The after conference drinks was a lot of fun too. It's a good time if you're in Tokyo. April 6th. Be there.
All right, Joey, we'll work on the presentation. We got to knock this one out of the park. It's an
Yeah,
honor to be part of it, but I think it'll be fun.
I think so too. I like giving like these kind of like little short talks and more fun, knowing that
Yeah.
that we're aiming to be like the fun presentation too,
Yep.
quick, short and sweet kind of thing with some prizes.
T-shirt cannon, man. Well, maybe like how many T-shirts should we press? Like 20, 30? Is that too many? How many people went last year?
I'm gonna have to bring an extra suitcase just for t-shirts. Last year, maybe 100 over the course of the day.
Okay, right on. Phew, that's a lot. Maybe 20. We'll do 20 T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
All right. Last Dear Diary series, I actually just listened to it. We are strongly considering Sato Coffee, a Tokyo Akiya that we're like, can we make this into a Airbnb or even a hotel? I was honestly like super pumped on it, but it seems like, Joey, what happened? What are our concerns with this place?
Yeah, so yeah, Sata Coffee really cool. It was a row house, which was its downfall here, and likely why it's so cheap relative to where it is located in Tokyo. I think it was around it was like 80 90K US dollars, but the row house part is the big issue. So if you wanted to do it, and it wasn't just for the Ryokan hotel license, if you wanted to do Minpaku as well, part of that process is some sort of fire check. We're not there yet in our own personal journey, but we got in contact with some people that help figure out these Minpaku licensing things, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the main issue with the row house and the fire protocols was that because it's one building, like your neighbors are still physically part of the same building, that whatever fire updates need to be done to your property to do the Minpaku or hotel license, it also has to be done to every part of the same building. So that would be, you would have to update your neighbor's house with the fire codes, et cetera, which I don't think you'd ever be able to do.
We are out. So if you're listening and you are considering a row house, trust us on this one. It's probably not going to work out unless your neighbors are cool with you kind of like tearing down a wall and making sure it's with fire safety stuff. So
Yeah, beware on row houses if you're trying to, do any kind of short-term rental.
yeah. Oh, sad. I was really stoked about the coffee shop slash Airbnb when we
Because we
got
had
that news. Yeah.
the Sato Coffee part was just funny with our contractor Sato-san, and we were gonna name like the coffees after like funny things he had said.
We could still do it, but yeah, we were also just looking at a apartment in Shinokubo. It was kind of like, it was like 100K, and it was like, we can link it after. It was
It was
an
a
existing
condo. This
Airbnb
one.
condo. Yeah. We just didn't feel like it was worth spending that much money for something we're not excited about. I think I'd asked Joey a couple times, like, what are you excited about? And I think we both aligned that it's probably a good investment, but just not, if I'm spending 100K, it's gotta have some exciting factor, right?
Yeah, this one maybe could have been like, I don't know, money maker eventually or something like that. But yeah, it was just like the street wasn't very nice. The shops on the street weren't very cool. It was like in like a hostel or something like that, or part of the same building as a hostel, and like the bar of the hostel bar slash restaurant was just like really sucked.
Yeah.
So there's
It's okay.
yeah.
No, I do not regret not going for it, and maybe someone else will want it. So we'll link that in the show notes. But excited to share. It's another week, another property we're looking at. We are going back to Joey's roots here and looking at a pretty dope spot in Shizuoka. Joey,
Yeah, I like the Izu Peninsula a lot. Went to did 2 years of high school there in Numazu City. I like Izu a lot. Onsen there, there's surf there. Yeah, we found another spot. It's like a big warehouse.
warehouse vibes. It's so Shizuoka or Izu is about a 3 hour, 4 hour drive from Tokyo. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe 3.
Okay. So we'll also link this. This is an interesting buy in that it's definitely not going to be for everyone. So we're not shy in sharing this one because challenge you to want this property because it's hard. I don't know. I feel like people are going to question us. Like, why did you guys buy this? And simple answer is it's dope, right?
Yeah, we got in contact with the agent through our friend Kushi, who's helping us. We went to ICU with Kushi, We lived in the same dorm as Kushi, actually, so we know Kushi really well. He contacted the agent for us, and then he came back, and I feel like Kushi's list of cons outweighed his list of pros, which
Yep.
I think is a good sign for us. It means that Japanese domestic buyers, like, they don't like this type of property, so I think it's cool.
It's picture this. I think it's 40K USD. It is freaking massive. It's like a giant warehouse with a small house, like a 2-story house, like in it. Or is that the best way to describe it? How would you describe it?
So the agent said it used to be a hardware store. So picture like
Okay.
much smaller than a Home Depot. This is like a I don't know, 16th the size of a Home Depot, maybe,
Okay.
but still pretty big. I don't remember the square footage.
15th of a Home Depot. I think it's way smaller than that. Okay.
But anyways, so the front of the street, so like yeah, it's actually really hard to explain. It's C-shaped, and
Mhm.
the warehouse part is the C, and then in the center of the C, there's like a small, like, living apartment slash office section. But it's really cool. It's like a steel framed building. The back part of the C, so one of the sort of arms of the C, has two floors on it. So there's like another hidden upstairs to the warehouse, which is disconnected from the apartments, the living quarters upstairs as well. You can drive your car right through the building to the back of the warehouse if you wanted to work on cars back there, or you had a bunch of heavy stuff you're trying to move. Just a very cool. I think me and Tage both like that kind of way. We have a lot of hobby projects, so would be a good spot to do all these hobby projects.
Remember in New York, you and Mike had gotten that. You guys got like this awesome Williamsburg garage, and I remember going in there. You had like it felt like 30-foot ceilings. It was huge. Were you there for the Halloween party? Or was
Yep.
that
Yeah.
you? Oh,
So
geez.
me and my friend Mike, during COVID, rents were really cheap, and we were both working on, we both bought a car around there in New York, and we wanted some space to work on our cars. And we rented this garage for super cheap during COVID because no one at the point of COVID when rent like dropped significantly. Yeah. And we were working on cars in there, and the ceilings were so high, and the ceiling was painted like a sky. And there were
I remember
skylights in
that.
there too. It was really cool. We could do that same thing with this Shizuoka spot.
Okay, grand opening party. We got to have the cars under like the K cars underlit green, like Fast and Furious Tokyo
Exactly.
Drift kind of
Yeah.
style party.
Yep.
Shizuoka. Oh man, it's funny.
Pretty
But real
fun.
talk,
Yeah. We need
we're
40K though.
we're looking at this spot for a couple different reasons. We had Rob Shemak's Illegal previously on a podcast, but one of our goals is we want to have the option to get a business manager visa. And one of the qualifications for a business manager visa is you need to have a physical office. Rob had told us it like actually needs to be an office. So one, it needs to have a sign out front. It needs to also have a separate office space. So they make you like take photos, make it look like an office. This is a perfect candidate because I think the house and the warehouse are disconnected, and we could very easily make like a co-working space or some kind of business for the shop front, right?
Yeah, and the building even looks like it's an old Home Depot basically. So we could, it's gonna look like a commercial building on the outside, and we can make it look commercial. We can create an office somewhere in there as well. Yeah, his big thing was like, you can't try to trick them and turn
Mhm.
your home into an office. You need to show, either there's no hard and fast rules, but you need to make it clear to them that it is an office and it's not just your house that you're calling an office if you're trying to go for this business manager visa. So some things you can do, you're not limited to these things and you don't have to do these things, but some things you could do is a separate building with a separate address type of thing. Or if it is in your home, maybe this is a little crazy, but like putting a wall up and having a separate entrance just for the office part. You need to really prove to, and take, because you're going to have to submit pictures. So you have to really prove to them that this is a true physical office and you're not trying to trick them in any way.
Yeah, it's gonna be. What do we? All right, what's your top pick? If we get this multi-purpose spot, just theoretically, what would you want to use that Home Depot-esque space for?
One, it's just a huge open space, which I think is very rare for Japanese homes. So
Hmm.
even if we just went So me and Tage both Rick Rubin for a couple
Oh,
different
yeah.
reasons, but so if anyone's seen Rick, I forget what magazine, but you can just Google Rick Rubin's Malibu home. Very minimal too. It looks like he just has white drywall up on his house, painted white kind of thing. Very open. Even if we just drywall up on insulate, put drywall up on the inside, and then had a huge open space, open living space like that, could even if we didn't use it for projects, just like
Yeah.
that's rare in Japan to have that much space.
True. That'd be sick, actually. Just I'm calling we get a big Turkish rug and couch and just leave it at that.
Like I'm thinking about the hammam we went to in
Yeah.
Istanbul, super big open
Ooh.
space. You know, just like to have a huge open living space is cool.
Super funny. You mentioned Rick Rubin. Like I just read Rick Rubin's book, Creative Act of Being, and I remember, Joe, you got to read this. And you ordered some like cheap copy off eBay. What
Yeah,
was
I had to throw that out. It was
you
really
threw it
weird.
away? Dude,
I'll
that
say,
was
yeah, I
a
threw it
one of a
away.
kind. No.
So it's someone, I don't know, it's someone on eBay that they're selling their own book, but they use basically the image that they put up, and this is why it tricked me. It's basically like a JPEG grainy version of Rick Rubin's actual book. So it's called the same thing. It's paperback, which should throw you off, and cheap. I don't think Rick Rubin's book actually comes in paperback, but it started out. It's hard to explain. It made no sense, and then it started getting to like Nazi stuff and getting real racist. And I was like, "What is going on here?" And then it stopped making any sense at all, and it was like just a random series of numbers and like latitude and longitude point. And I was like, "I have
Oh
this
man, you
is
threw it
yeah."
away. That was
I threw it
that was a
away. It was
treasure
real
map,
weird.
man. There's Easter eggs in there. But anyways, we'll link the Shizuoka property. We don't know. I like how you call it Home Depot. I'm calling this place Shizuoka Home Depot. I don't know until we come up with a better name, but I don't. Let's see. We're gonna do some due diligence next couple of weeks. The agent actually was not gonna let us do a Zoom tour, so we're sending Joey, potentially Joey's friend Lauren, to go check it out.
Yeah, hopefully I make when I'm there in April. Yeah, I'd like to make a day trip down to Shizuoka, check the spot out. I think that'll be fun.
We'll post it. Feel free to look at it. Feel free to buy it. We can even maybe help you buy it, but I'm not worried. I don't This is a very unusual purchase for someone to want to buy, but I agree with you, Joey. It's a pretty unique opportunity. Just get a huge warehouse and we can figure out what we do with it later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. You could do anything down there. You could have a ceramics studio. You could have multiple things down there. 1/16 of a Home Depot. Maybe it's 1/32 of a Home Depot.
I forgot. We're calling it actually, it's in a city called Matsuzaki. So I think the address is like 363. Joey's, what'd you name it, Joey?
36 Matsuzaki.
Good ring to it.
36 Mafia, but 36
Okay.
Matsuzaki.
Okay. 36 Matsuzaki. Let's see how long this idea stays alive for, but I'm much more excited about it than the Sophie Earth Tokyo Shinokubo spot. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too. This one's cool. No train though, which is the only thing you need.
Yeah.
Got to be car. It's okay.
It's okay. It's close to the beach, so I think it'll be fun. All right. JLux update. Last time we talked, our contractor had maybe faked an injury, but good news, he's back, right?
Allegedly, he's back.
Allegedly.
No,
We're
actually,
gonna talk.
Fumi confirmed.
Okay, we should have Fumi. Let me message Fumi later. We should have her go check it out. But how? I don't know, man. What do you think about the progress? When estimate June? When you're gonna go down in April? You're gonna check it out?
Totally. I'm gonna try to live there as best I can too in April. We'll see.
Okay.
I might be sleeping in the guest room. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll ask Fumi maybe to give Sato-san a heads up, or I'll text him. But
Yeah. Well, we don't have updates with the construction. We do have updates on getting the Minpaku license. We were connected with a guy named Shun who's down in Fukuoka. His company is smartin.com. They're basically working on the check-in instruction app process, and they're a property management, I think, type company for Airbnbs. But the big service they're providing us is helping us get the Minpaku license. We talked to this guy and he made it sound quite simple. It seems like his service brings you A to Z, like due diligence on checking the property to registration, which seems like it requires like a yosei shoshi, a lot of paperwork, but we're more or less going to go with him. I think he's how much is he charging us? Like 1,000, 2,000, something like that.
Gyosei Shoshi is another type of scrivener. That's what we
Yep.
learned.
Yep. But
Administrative scrivener. Yeah, sorry, your question. Yeah, I think Shun is charging us to about 2,000 US.
okay. We reached out to Shun initially for our Tokyo property, actually, to be like, hey, can we Airbnb this? And he was actually really good. He was just like, sounds like he has an in-house architect or something. He's specializing in working with foreigners to help them get their Airbnb Minpaku like license, right?
Yeah, he does everything. Sounds like in terms of like due diligence, you tell him, hey, this is the property you're looking at or the property you own. And he's going to tell you what you need to do, which steps of the way, document why, if you've ever Googled how to meme paku a property or meme paku rules, it quickly gets out of hand. And you're like, I have no idea anymore if this
Yeah.
is even possible and what all this documents I need to get. So I'm really thinking that leaning on Shun here and he's just going to tell us what to do is our best move.
Take our money, Shun. Take it all. We don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
One thing we did learn that would have been a deal breaker if you're thinking about doing an Airbnb and setting up yourself, you do need to have someone with what is called a minpaku kandi, right? There's a longer term for that, but it's basically
Like
a
a
minpaku,
manager.
license. And it's not super easy to get this, is what it sounded like, right?
I don't know. Like, how could it be that, like, so this is just someone I believe that, like, operates. This is like an operator of your Airbnb. So, someone like in Japan, you need to submit, every guest needs to submit passport photos, that kind of thing. So, someone that can help collect that stuff, someone that knows how to use the Airbnb apps, they need to have a license to do that in Japan. And it's called like a Minpaku Kandi or like manager, maybe like a Minpaku manager license.
Mm-hmm. And so you need to have one of these people if you are operating an Airbnb. So whether it be a property management company that has it, in this case, I think Shun is allowing us to use his license and we operate it. We're not too clear on that, but we have to pay him some fee. But yeah, again, if you're trying to Airbnb a spot, you need to have someone in order to register with their Minpaku Kandi. So that was, I don't know why we didn't realize that sooner.
Yeah, that was new information for me. So most of the time, these people, yeah, they take a percent, I think, of either gross or actually in Tracy's case, she takes a percent of profit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems unavoidable. If you're thinking about Airbnb in Japan, you're going to need to either get your own Minpaku Kanni license or find someone that has it. They operate your Airbnb and you pay them a small percentage of whatever you make.
Let's see. The plot just keeps getting more and more complicated, and I know we set out. I don't know how a person who hasn't been to Japan figures this out, but hopefully we can figure this out. And if you're listening to this, you don't have to go through the same hoops that we are going through to figure this out.
Yeah, or at least like you're hearing about it early on, and so there's no
Mm-hmm.
surprises.
Yep. But switching gears, we have some cool updates. We're working on we mentioned it before. We're working on some other ways to monetize AkiyaMart. We have a subscription. We're thinking about sunsetting that at some point. So we've listened to what our customers want. A lot of people want us to help them like view the place or find more information. So for context, our listing pulls from a real estate site and then we're given whatever information they put on that site. But sometimes the photos are shitty. Sometimes there's one sentence. So if you're looking at AkiyaMart and you want more information on a property, we're piloting a project called Akiya Mart Research. Joey, tell us about Akiya Mart Research.
Yeah, what you said. We're trying to listen to customers. A lot of people want our help buying the property. We're not quite there yet, but we're starting to think about getting into the transaction process a little bit. And one of the earliest steps is just getting more information about a property. Pictures aren't great. So what we're doing is we're working with, I think I mentioned him earlier in this podcast, but our friend Kushi, we went to school with Kushi. He's on the ground in Japan and he's helping us. So if you like a property a lot, but there's not great pictures, there's you want to do a virtual viewing, or you just want to know more about the property, what we can do is we ask Kushi to get in touch with the real estate agent and either ask for more pictures, video, or schedule a virtual walkthrough. It's would be difficult to do this on your own. When me and Take were in Japan, we tried to do
Impossible.
it in person, and even that was difficult. And we had Fumi's help. We had Fumi there with us. But for us to try to do this by email or calling a Japanese
Mhm.
real estate agent, I just see a low success rate there. So we're trying to offer that as a service. So if you see any
Mhm.
listings on AkiyaMart that you want to pursue, but you're not ready to jump the gun with NTI and drop $4,000 to start the process, but you just want to know a little bit more about this property, that's the niche that we're hoping to fill in.
Yeah. And just emphasizing what Joey said, like these real estate agents don't want to interact with foreigners. So if you're sending an email, we've sent emails to people, it just doesn't, we don't get responses, even calling them. It really has to come from a Japanese number and requires leaving voicemail. So our friend Kushi, or Yusuke, is his first name, he's helping us hit the ground and dial these agents, coordinate type viewings. Specifically, yeah, we just did a Zoom tour, I think for our first happy pilot customer. We'll call him B. His situation was he was looking at a place in Ehime and I think one more in Shimane. We ended up finding out the Shimane property was farmland, so that was a no go. So at least that's good that we quickly eliminated one. The second one, I believe he's going for, and it's honestly a freaking dope property. It's has a view of the ocean. It we actually did a video tour. So part of Akiya Mart Research, we will try our very best to organize a video tour. It's not always possible. Some agents will say no, but we did a video tour. We saw the house. It was in killer condition. 18K, Joey, I think it was how much it was for. B, our customer is really happy. I think he's proceeding with that. And he didn't need to go, he didn't need to do too much. I think we were pretty fast on it. And I think he's quite happy and he's going to hopefully get that property and invite us over to hang out sometime.
I agree. Mr. B was very happy with the virtual tour. He loved the property, so yeah, I agree. It does sound like he's going to pursue it. We should check in with him at some point.
Yeah. So for pricing perspective, we're playing around with it, but we think we're going to do around $100 for property. No, that sounds steep, but it really does require a lot of time. So our friend Yusuke is actually hitting the phone, calling, coordinating, going back and forth. And then in addition to that, we'll have ideally him, if not someone else, on the Zoom call to translate to the Japanese real estate agent. We'll also record that and send it over. So it's I think it's worth it. I would have paid for something like this to see our property and just get it done. Let us know if that is too high, but we do feel like it's actually quite a bit of work and totally worth it if it means like canceling out a property or going for it with for some more information.
Yeah, and you just full transparency. There are other options out there. Your other options would be to try to contact the real estate agents directly. You can find that information on Akiyamart if you click through to the realtor's website. You can try your luck and try to contact them directly.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to facilitate that process there, or you can get in touch with a service like NTI, but they do require a much higher upfront fee just
Mm-hmm.
before they'll do any work on your behalf. Those are your other options out there.
Yeah, totally.
We think
Totally.
it's
Plus one, Joey. We're building this kind of out of necessity almost, in that like enough people have asked for it that we're, hey, this is all the information we got. And it also we've been stretched thin that we can't just do this for free for folks. So we are just putting a little price tag on it. And if you're gonna use us, trust us, I think you'll get good results. And if we don't end up getting a video tour, we're thinking about like refunding some amount of that. But yeah, this is just a pilot.
totally. Yeah. So if you're interested, hit us up. Mention we're calling it Akiya Mart Research.
Mm-hmm.
Mention you're interested in Akiya Mart Research and send us an email.
Cool. Very last thing I think we should discuss is over. We've mentioned that AkiyaMart's moving more towards B2B. I'm excited to share we have our first maybe listing. We have gotten in touch with someone out in Shizuoka who is interested in having us list her property. It's a beautiful property. And we're thankful that she's giving us a chance here. So we're going to go above and beyond, I think. We're going to hire a really freaking good photographer to do drone shots and apply a little bit. I think California and the US, like our real estate photography and like effort on marketing is a little higher than some of these places in Japan. So we're going to apply a little bit of that and see if we can really provide value for some of these folks who want to sell on AkiyaMart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, like as Taki mentioned, trying to expand that to B2B, and hopefully some real estate agents will want to list with us. So using this as a little bit of a pilot project, and we'll take great photo. We're hiring a photographer, take great photos, put that up on AkiyaMart, and then we can see how many people are viewing, liking, asking for more information through that. And then hopefully we'll get some metrics, and that can help us pitch later on to real estate agents in the future, saying, hey, if you sponsor a listing with us, you'll expect to get this many likes, this many leads, etc.
Yeah, this is like how Airbnb started, right? Like they were taking photos of places and they had to send out a photographer, and we're basically trying to be like Airbnb.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Either way, you'll see the listing once we get it. We're definitely going to make sure that we push it out for viewers. And if you know anyone that's interested, it is a really nice cabin in the woods. And I think pricing, we might need to work a little bit on that, but we're giving it a shot. We don't know what we're doing, but pray for us, please.
Yeah, this is a test project for us too. This is just one property. And yeah, we're just trying to see if the flow works, see if it gets some attention.
Yeah. All right, man. I feel like, whoa, it's every one of these Dear Diary series. I feel like a lot has happened. It's exciting from the last one till within the last week. You're all of a sudden going to go to Japan. So thanks for taking one for the team and headed out to the
Yeah, man.
east.
Next, you got to come to the next JREP conference.
I'll get the next JREP conference, but I'll make the shirts. I think we're also hosting an offsite number 2. You're coming through maybe Santa Cruz again at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, for a few days, hopefully right before I go to Japan.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Maybe we should. There's so many people in Tokyo we want to see, but I think this one, JREP conference, again, I'll put in the show notes. You definitely recommend. I think it really got our brains thinking about this space. And it seems like we are riding the momentum. We've had so many people reach out to us. This is a hot topic, and hopefully we can get, yeah.
You can also dial into the JREP conference, so you don't have to be there in person. There's like e-tickets where you can basically you get the Zoom link to the conference too. So if you're interested in the space, definitely check it out. Emil will be talking about mortgages, I'm sure, getting a loan in Japan. Tracy will be talking about Airbnb stuff, also a lot about investing in these properties in Japan and getting a return. So if you're interested in any of those things, Anton with renovating an Akiya, Blanca is going to be talking about renovation. So a lot of interesting topics. If you can't make it to Tokyo, you can watch online.
Also, you forgot AkiyaMart icebreaker quiz. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
AkiyaMart icebreaker quiz. Start thinking about where people think it's the rainiest or the or the snowiest in Japan.
Yes, sir. All right, cool, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, Taki. See you.
Bye.